Alright guys, Daniel from Guiltless Foods here. Today I'm going to make a truly sinful dessert that is a saint when it comes to calories. Now the dessert I'm going to be making today is a chocolate and peanut butter souffle. Yes, there is a trend with me with chocolate and peanut butter, however it's helping me stick to my meal plan. Now to run over the recipe with you, I've got in a blender here already weighed out, I've got 12 grams of peanut butter powder. I use PB Fit, and 10 grams of dark cocoa powder, and 20 grams of porridge oats, and 20 grams of a sweetener. Now I'm using xylitol. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend these together until they're a fine powder. So now that I've got the ingredients blended into a powder, as you can see, I'm just going to put them into a saucepan without the blade, and I'm going to add 20 grams of just smooth peanut butter. So now that the peanut butter and the blended oats, cocoa powder and sugar are in the pan, I'm going to add some water, cook it on the stove until it forms a really thick paste. The amount of water you need is probably about 1 to 2 tablespoons, not very much at all. So whilst that's cooking, the only other things worth mentioning are you need to have 2 ramekins buttered, or I've sprayed these with butter flavoured non-stick cooking spray, and in a baking tray this recipe will make 2 rather large ramekins. I believe these are 250-300ml ones, and you're going to need 2 whole eggs, which you will be separating into this bowl, and preferably have an electric whisk because you're going to be doing a lot of whisking. Unless you haven't been to the gym yet, then this is a perfect workout. Lastly, you'll need your oven preheating to 200 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, we've just managed to get a really thick paste. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite thick, quite gloopy. If you've ever made a souffle before, this is reminiscent of making the roux. And what we're going to do now is we're going to separate the eggs. We're going to put the yolks straight into this this oat mixture, and the white, into this bowl. Now this oat mixture is hot, so each time you add a yolk, make sure to just whisk it in really quickly so then you don't scramble your egg yolks. The mixture will become quite loose again, but that is what you want. So that's egg yolk number 2 in there, and now it's got quite a runny consistency, but that will allow the egg whites, once you whisk them, to incorporate properly. So now I'm just going to attach this whisk to my electric whisk, and I'm going to whisk the egg whites until they are stiff peaks. So there we go, egg whites have achieved stiff peaks. You know that when you can hold it upside down, it doesn't fall out. So now we're just going to literally incorporate 1/3 of the egg whites into the oats and egg yolk mixture, just to loosen it up, and then we're going to gently fold in the remaining egg whites, and then we're going to put it in the ramekins. So just going to take 1/3 of the egg whites, and you can vigorously beat this. It's just to loosen it up so that the air doesn't get knocked out of the egg whites the second time you put it in. And now you're going to gently fold all of this. Just be careful, you want to lose as little air as possible. Don't worry about there being lumps of meringues in your souffle. The most important part is that you don't keep mixing it until all the lumps have gone, because then you could potentially lose all the air out of the souffle. So now these are just going to go into the ramekins. Just fill them with half the mixture, kind of by eye, and then we're going to put them straight into our preheated oven, 200 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 minutes. Now while those are in the oven, I'm just going to go over the nutrition facts of a typical chocolate and peanut butter souffle that I found online. Per souffle, so it uses the same size ramekins as the one that I've used here. Per souffle, it's got 345 calories, 24 grams from fat, 24 grams of carbohydrates, and 11 grams of protein. Now the two souffles that I've got in the oven now combined are 358 calories, 15 grams from fat, 39 from carbohydrates, and 23 from protein. So overall it's a bigger meal with less calories per souffle, and it's more rounded with less fat and more protein than the typical souffle. Right guys, the souffles are out of the oven. As you can see, they've risen nicely. Now what they should be is lovely and light, but also pudding-like in the middle. See, I'll show you what I mean. Nice and soft and gooey. Just like that, nice and soft and gooey and hot in the middle. The issue with these is they can dry out very, very quickly, so you do want to err on the side of them being undercooked. But anyway, that's the chocolate and peanut butter souffle. You can serve it with ice cream, you can serve it with whatever you like. It goes really well with some Oppo chocolate and hazelnut ice cream, or the salted caramel ice cream if you live here in the UK. Now if this dessert looks good enough to eat, then please click like and subscribe. It'll keep me bringing content to you guys. Thank you.